What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. Give you a quick overview of the crazy day that we had, what prompted it, what the data points are saying, and what shorts did. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi went down 1.86%. So definitely did have a very nice recovery. $10.98 a low, $11.74 the high. And for volume, 62.6 million shares being traded, 50.1 is the average. A lot during power hour and after hours, so that obviously was institutions rebalancing. Today is the last day in Q1, so again, I think that was anticipated that you'd have some level of buying, but today's recovery was fairly good. One thing that did cause possibly all of this reversal, kind of jokingly, was this right here. So this was tweeted at 2 o'clock, but I believe he did state it in the early morning, saying that he can't think of a dumber day to buy stocks than today. And that was said by Jim Cramer. So inverse Jim Cramer, I get it. A lot of people just kind of joke, but there is a lot of people that do genuinely believe that whatever he states, the inverse is going to happen. So by him stating that today is a dumb day to buy stocks, people just started to buy the hell out of everything. So I kind of found this very, very comical, all in all, but still nonetheless though, fear and greed index is under the extreme fear category. It did in fact go down 1, so it was at 22, now 21. So people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily on the table, and from what I've seen kind of floating around, there's still a lot of fear. But if Jim Cramer is saying that obviously this, essentially we might be at a bottom. But specific to SoFi, there was no SEC filings, no press releases today. The only thing that kind of came out associated to SoFi was this right here. So some individual was kind of just hating or bringing up how what SoFi haters say and whatever else. Anthony just said, I see and read every word. So if you're out there commenting, obviously constructive criticism or just venting, it goes to show Anthony is listening to everything. So yeah, let me know your general thoughts on that. I think that even though Anthony has been very quiet at times, I think him being self-aware of what investors are saying about SoFi is definitely good. So something again to keep in mind. But shorts did increase 175,000 shares today. 13% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 140 million shares overall are being shorted. One thing that I did see today that was rather interesting is that CTA models show growing short positions in S&P 500, largest since February 2016. So shorts are running rampant right now. So hopefully the market does bottom. Trump does either reduce or take off those tariffs, just causing the market just to explode higher, in turn causing the shorts to kind of F themselves. So I just found this rather interesting on a FYI kind of standpoint. Today there was 7.84 million in calls, 8.83 million in puts. Based on this, you can kind of see majority was done in the first little bit of the trading day. 42% of all the options being done today were bearish in nature though. Again, a lot of that coming from the beginning. 16.6 million in total premiums today, 16.6 on Friday. So kind of in line with that. Today was the 5th consecutive red day for SoFi. So very rarely does that happen, but when that does, historically speaking, it usually causes a very nice green day the 6th day. So again, if you kind of believe in history and kind of repeating itself, that does mean tomorrow might be a green day. So something to keep in mind. Data points though, we do have JOLT numbers coming out tomorrow. Current forecast is 7.6. So if coming in better than anticipated, then yeah, you could see kind of a green day associated to that. Based on the call options that were purchased today, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $12.50 to $13 range. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly 10. Oddly enough, you did see some of this. So obviously a lot of that was purchased in the first little bit. And so for April 17th, 2025, you're seeing a large consensus for it to be sub $9. Not really sure why, maybe just more escalation associated to just tariffs and whatever else, but we'll have to wait and see how that all does play out. But these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So 1 million there, 1 3 million, 1 million, 1. A lot of this is associated to rebalancing. 1 million, 26.7, 6.2 first thing. So a lot of big transactions there. Similarly on the Darkpool, a lot of big transactions. You had 1.3 million there, 2.3. So a lot of big transactions. A lot of that is associated to shorting though, because even though going back over here, they only did increase 175,000 shares today, you can kind of see that they were very active. At its peak, they kind of increased 950,000. So they obviously go back and forth, return and so forth. So a lot of this Darkpool activity is associated to shorts. Where it did close though at $11.63, trading between this S2 and this S3. So $11.31 is a strong support. When it was going down, it kind of just blew past that very fast. So just take that into consideration going forward into the next couple of trading days. $12.72 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So hopefully it does get above that early on going into tomorrow's trading day. A couple of key points to really watch for though. $11.20 is that 200-day moving average, this yellow line right here. So another element just to watch going into the next couple of trading days. $12.46 is going to be that ALMA. So if we do have good jolt numbers, and let's say Trump for whatever reason does state that he's negotiating on XXX and whatever else, the tariffs, then yeah, you'll see a very nice rebound, a nice V form. So let me know your general thoughts on that. Stochastic RSI, because of what has happened over the last couple of trading days, it went from overbought to rather neutral. So something just to keep in mind, but no real substantial articles coming out about SoFi that is new information. A lot of articles just bringing up saying it's a screaming buying opportunity, but a lot of that is piggybacking off of the technicals. So I think they're neglecting a lot of the broader fears, just solely focusing on that. But I found this one kind of interesting. It's just a lot of stupid clickbait that they just go regurgitate a lot of previous news. But did Robinhood just say checkmate to SoFi? So I find that very interesting. A lot of people correlate the two. Yes, Robinhood is expanding its reach, but it's definitely not fully overlapping with SoFi. So it's kind of funny how all that's playing out. But with Q1 for the most part concluding, I will be monitoring just to see if there is any changes to the earnings per share, revenue, or whatever else coming from Analyst, because as I've stated in the past, Analysts can change their estimates without changing their official rating. So with obviously Q2 now in scope, we can kind of see if there's any changes going forward. So just stay tuned for that. I'll kind of cover that shortly. But aside from that, give yourself a shout out if you did buy, if you sold, or what you have done. I myself, I think I mentioned in my video over the weekend that I am the recipient of 500 shares. So I did sell a $12 put that did expire last Friday, obviously given where SoFi closed. So I got 500 extra shares. I didn't do anything options wise, so I'm still holding it, but I think generally speaking, it should have a nice rebound to at least a $13 range. But yeah, I might be starting to sell more and more puts roughly around this price point or even potentially lower, because I think that at this stage there's a lot more upside than down, but that's just me. So let me know your thoughts. What have you been doing? Have you been buying, selling, holding? What's your viewpoint on Jim Cramer essentially and indirectly, I guess, calling the bottom? And when it comes down to shorts, what do you think about this? Do you think that shorts across the board are correct in doubling down? So the largest since February 2016? Or do you think that this is going to be one of the biggest short squeezes in the broader market since 2007, or I guess even 01? So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, or crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.